today to my home. I'm really excited about the information that we're going to hear today. I sound like I'm about to do a business presentation because I'm so But today we're really keeping it informal, and I want to just tell you how the day got started, because it really wasn't planned, but I was on the phone with this gentleman right here. I was on the phone with Carlton Holloway. Everybody say hi, Carlton. Hi, Carlton. And Carlton was like, I said, my father's coming up next weekend for a family reunion. He said, man, it'll be so great to see your dad. And at the same time, we were having a conversation about a post I put out on Facebook about watermelon juice. So we're talking about health, and he was talking about how great it would be to see my father. And I don't know if it was when I was on the phone with you or after I got off, I was like, oh my goodness, I've got a great idea. I'm going to call my father and see if he will give a health talk while he's here. And that way, Carlton, you can come and we can do two things at one time. Talk about health, and you can get to see my dad. And so it was this gentleman right here. He was the catalyst for this meeting today. But
thank you, Carlton.
I'm really excited.
That was nice.
So I'm really excited because my father has given me a legacy of health, and my kids as well. You all may see that my daughter's doing a raw food eating plan now for the next month. She's working on that. She's done study on going gluten-free and food combining, and my son is doing the same thing. And they really work on making healthy food choices. So I appreciate that legacy of health that he left. And he's been a great entrepreneur, done lots of things in business. But if I had to pick one topic, and if he had to pick one topic that he always comes back to, that he would love to speak on more than anything else, it would absolutely be what, Daddy?
Health.
It would be health. That's right. That's his favorite subject. And the thing that I think I'm really impressed about is how he lives it out. He doesn't just talk the talk, but he walks the walk. Absolutely every day of his life. And it shows up in his energy. It shows up in his everything, his skin, his youthfulness, the way he looks. That's right. It just shows through in him. And as we all get older, 30s, 40s, and beyond, I think we start to look more. We start to look more at our health and longevity, and wow, how can I make sure that as I get older, that I'm still, able to run behind my grandkids. I got a grandkid on the way, by the way, 8 more weeks left. How can I run behind my grandkids and not have aches and pains in my knees? How can I stay prescription free, unlike so many of Americans who just, okay, I'm 60s, no big deal, I'm on a pill. How can I be energetic like my parents? I just look up to them so much because the energy that they have is just so incredible. When I go to her house, I literally get fearful because I know that she's going to have me running around all day long, different beaches, parties, line dance classes, and she does not get tired, right? And it's like, how are you doing this at your age, right? Brian, come over here for a minute. A second. How are you doing this, at your age? And so this is my good friend, brother, the business partner, Brian Bailey, fitness coach, guru, just a whole bunch of different things, entrepreneur. And we consider ourselves, like he called my parents, his parents.
That's right.
And, Brian, too, has really been impacted in such a big way by my parents. So I just wanted you to say a word before we bring on my dad, and then we'll get started with the health talk.
I can tell some funny stories. Zeke and I both used to sell insurance. He was kind of like my mentor in that business as well. But I don't even think you know this. We used to go, let's say, North Avenue, and we had to go do some business. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we had to go up a lot of steps. 3, 4 flights of stairs. And I was like 21, 22 years old at the time. So I'm trying to keep up to Zeke, and I got my policies, binders, and all that stuff. And Zeke running up the steps, flying up the steps.
He's beating you, a 22-year-old.
Yeah, he's going up the steps fast. I'm like, how does this guy do this? I'm like 22, 23 years old, and he would shoot up steps, and he has not stopped since. And because of watching Zeke and watching his zest for health and learning more and more for him. That's really what got me started with my company when I launched it. There's a lot of things that he talked about when it comes to health and nutrition, and he's definitely a big role model of mine, so I'm glad we have him here today.
Yes, yes, yes. So without any further ado, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get started. My father is going to, I'll just let him, start, introduce himself, start it off talking, but then if there's any questions, if there's dialogue, because I know a lot of people, even, Tammy's been on in the last 2 years, a road to greater fitness and learning things, and is showing up all in her body, and she has really transformed herself. She has a friend here also who is in a fitness, I guess, expert and competes on stage, and you can see it really in her body. And a lot of you maybe have been in wellness companies and different things. So what I want to do now is to bring up my father, Zik Stewart, so we can just have some health talk, some dialogue, conversation. And after that, guys, we're going to get to let you eat some food. And then we're going to do some juicing demonstrations, because juicing is something that's really my father's been doing for about 20-some years now. And I've learned a lot from him about that as well. So come on up, Daddy.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
I said good evening.
Good evening.
That's what I'm talking about. Gotta have the energy. How's everybody?
Fantastic.
I know most of you here. I mean, some of us go way back, way back. I haven't seen Tony in a while. How you doing, Tony?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. And Carlton, so you're the guy that got this thing. I've seen Carlton about 10 years or so. And Nia, I don't know how long it's been since I've seen you. I've seen your mom since I've seen you. And Anita, it's been a day or two. Yeah, so, guys, I want to talk to you about the do's and the don'ts of natural living. When KM, grandson, Boomer's oldest, was about maybe less than a year, I started the juicing journey. But what got me on the juicing journey was a pain. Guys, I don't like pain. It hurts. And I try to avoid it. And I kind of like over the last 2.5 decades, I got pretty good at avoiding pain. I don't get one, I just don't get them, And, this thing about getting sick, I kind of avoid that too. Probably hadn't been sick in 25 years or more, something like that. But what happened was, got this pain in the joint back in the late 80s. And I don't know what it was, and it wouldn't go away. Guys, they don't run to the doctors, so readily. So I didn't go, and it kept getting worse. And I was at church. I got like this. I couldn't even raise my hand to praise the Lord, and it got bad. Then it got really bad. Still just hurting here. It started to go down the back of my arm. And I said, well, I said to Jerry, Boomy was in Hampton, she was in school, and she would come for a break, working at McDonald's, and I remember taking her to work. And after I took her to work, I said, Jerry, maybe you ought to take me to the doctor, because I figure I might die if I don't get this fixed. And if I go to the doctor, they might kill me. So 6 of one half dozen the other. I didn't have anything to lose. So I went there, they examined me, they checked it out, and I said, well, we can't find anything wrong, come back in 3 weeks. And I was scheduled to come back in 3 weeks, but I don't know where I was. I picked up this book, and it said, food should be your medicine.
Yes.
And I got excited about that. Then in the book, it had a section where what was ailing you, you can look up that food and take that food. And I went flipping through there for joint pain, because I had this pain in the joint, and it says to juice a grapefruit and a pineapple, and it'll be gone in 45 days. I had nothing to lose. I had a juicer that I had never used. Went home, got some grapefruit, got pineapple, started juicing, and I was doing that every day. You know? It's what you eat that makes you well, stop you from getting sick. And I just went on all out reading everything I get my hands on. I read this book, Why Christians Get Sick. I know why they get sick. I'm going to tell you. They get sick because they do everything that the world people do. 50%, I've been saying this for about 2 decades, 50% of America is sick. While they're in bed and hospital, they are sick. They're on the way to dying. You know, that's the next step after sick. You know, so they're on that way. But it doesn't have to be. And you know, one thing I want to leave with you early on is that the thing that turned me around was I took responsibility for my health. When I did that, my health improved. When I stopped relying on doctors that, you know, we think of as God, they can fix so much. They can fix certain things. I mean, if I break my leg, take me straight to the doctor. They can fix that, you know. But if I get cancer, don't take me nowhere near it. Don't take me nowhere near them. Take me to Alabama to walk Maryland.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But see, I know the regiment, so I won't be getting cancer, by the way. We all got a little bit, you know. But I won't be getting that. I'll say that with an affirmative. Anybody want to challenge me, they can come on, you know. But God, I just want you to understand that. And this is, Jerry said, don't say this, Zik. I don't believe you have to get sick.
Yeah, I agree.
See, that's so hard because we take sickness as a birthright. You're like, okay, well, we're going to get sick because we're here. Well, I want you to see somebody that's not here, because I'm not here. Well, I don't do that. You know, that's not a good thing to do. I try to do good things, you know. But, and you don't have, I found out you don't have to be sick. And I figured you probably don't have to be sick either, because I don't have to be sick. I'm a human being, you're a human being, so maybe you don't have to be sick either. But you got to make a decision not to do that. Now, being in America, everything that we think is free, not free. Your health is not free, by the way, because they got so many things going at you to your detriment about health. You know, I mean, not to mention the pharmaceutical industry that's drugging everybody in America, in this brother. Not to mention the food industry. You know, not to mention, you know, the beverage industry, which, you know, everything is supersized now. You know, you can trace all these products being supersized to obesity. They track together. They track together. I want to make a prediction. Within 20 years or so, they're going to ban sugar. Can you imagine that? They're going to ban sugar to the extent that they're going to ban sodas, soft drink. It's absolutely poison. Anybody had a Mountain Dew lately? All right, if you want to get a high, just get a Mountain Dew, because it's 72 grams of sugar. 72. I was surprised. Jerry and I was in a store and looked at 72 grams of sugar and like 20 ounces.
That's crazy.
That ain't crazy. That's cancer. I mean, that's what that is, you know. I mean, so all these things are always coming at me. But let me get to my script here.